Hi, I'm Lainey. Today I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. I never thought my own family would try to exploit me. I've been running my catering business, Flavor Canvas, for 3 years now. It started as a small side hustle while I worked at a local restaurant. But with hard work and dedication, I turned it into a successful small business with 5 employees. I take immense pride in what I've built. My cousin Veronica and I were close as kids. We spent summers together at our grandparents' lake house, sharing secrets and dreams. As adults, we drifted apart. She moved to the city and worked in marketing, while I stayed in our hometown building my business. We'd see each other at family gatherings, but our interactions became increasingly superficial. So I was surprised when she called me out of the blue one Tuesday afternoon. I was in my kitchen testing new recipes when my phone rang. "Lainey, it's been forever!" Veronica's voice was bubbling with excitement. "Hey, Ronnie, this is unexpected. How are you?" "Amazing. I'm getting married. Jason proposed last weekend." "Wow, congratulations. That's wonderful news." I genuinely meant it. We might not be close anymore, but I was happy for her. "Thanks. Listen, that's actually why I'm calling. I wanted to ask you a huge favor." I felt a small knot form in my stomach. "What kind of favor?" "Well, you know I've always loved your cooking, and now that you have this amazing catering business, I was hoping you could cater my wedding." "Oh, well, I'd be honored. When's the date? I'll check if we're available and send over some menu options and pricing." There was a brief pause. "Actually, Lainey, I was kind of hoping you could do it for free, as a wedding gift." I nearly dropped my phone. "For free? Ronnie, we're talking about catering for how many people?" "Just 200. It's going to be at the Lakeside Manor. Very exclusive." 200 people? Ronnie, that would cost thousands in food alone, not to mention staff, equipment, transportation. But it would be amazing exposure for your business. All my friends are influencers and marketing executives. You'd get so many high-end clients from this. It's practically a favor to you." I took a deep breath. "Veronica, I run a business, not a charity. I can't afford to cater an entire wedding for free. I could offer you a family discount." "A discount? Are you serious? We're family, Lainey. I was there for you when Uncle Pete died. Remember who held your hand at the funeral?" I was stunned by how quickly she'd weaponized a painful memory. "That was 7 years ago, and it has nothing to do with my business costs today. I'd love to cater your wedding, but I can't do it for free." "Whatever. My mistake for thinking you'd want to support me on the biggest day of my life. Mom was right about you." She hung up before I could respond. I stood in my kitchen, shaking with anger and disbelief. The next day, my phone blew up with messages from relatives. Aunt Claire, Veronica's mother, called to tell me how disappointed she was. "You've changed, Lainey. Success has made you selfish." "Aunt Claire, this isn't about being selfish. Do you have any idea what catering a 200-person wedding costs? It's just food. You already have all the equipment." "It's not just food. It's ingredients, staff wages, rentals, transportation, time." "Well, your cousin Shannon catered her brother's wedding for free. Shannon works for a catering company. She didn't pay for everything herself." "I just think family should help family." Veronica is devastated. After that call, I needed perspective. I called my best friend and sous chef, Mia. "She wants you to cater her entire wedding for free?" Mia was incredulous. "That's insane. And now the whole family is making me feel like I'm the bad guy." "This is your livelihood, not a hobby. Would they ask their doctor cousin to perform surgery for free? Or their lawyer cousin to handle legal issues for exposure?" "Exactly. But somehow because it's food, they think it's different." "What are you going to do?" I sighed. "I don't know. Part of me wants to tell them all to shove it, but another part of me doesn't want family drama." "Maybe there's a third option," Mia said thoughtfully. "What do you mean?" "You give them exactly what they deserve." The next day, I called Veronica back. "I've been thinking about your wedding, and you're right. Family should support family. I'll cater your wedding." "Really? That's amazing. I knew you'd come around. But I want to be clear. This is my gift to you. I'll handle everything my way." "Of course. You're the expert. I trust you completely. Great. Send me the details and I'll start planning. After hanging up, I called my cousin Derek, who had always been fair-minded. Derek, I need your take on something. I explained the situation and he whistled. That's rough. Aunt Claire and Veronica have always been entitled, but this is next level. So I'm not crazy for thinking this is inappropriate? Not at all. What are you going to do? I have a plan, but I need to know if it's too harsh. I outlined what I was thinking, and Derek chuckled. It's bold, but she deserves it. Count me in if you need backup. Over the next few weeks, I pretended to plan Veronica's wedding menu. She became increasingly demanding, changing her mind about dishes, adding requirements, and sending passive-aggressive texts about making sure it's perfect. Lainey, the appetizers need to be Instagram-worthy. My followers expect a certain aesthetic. Understood. Everything will be beautiful. And Jason's mother is gluten-free now, so everything needs a gluten-free option. No problem. I'll make sure there are options for everyone. What Veronica didn't know was that I was documenting every conversation, every demand, and calculating exactly how much her free catering would actually cost. I also discovered through Derek that she was bragging to her friends about how she'd convinced her small-town caterer cousin to do her wedding for free. She told her bridesmaids that you should be grateful for the opportunity, Derek reported after a dinner with Veronica and Jason. And what did Jason say? That's the interesting part. He seemed uncomfortable. I don't think he knows what she told you. This gave me an idea. I reached out to Jason directly, suggesting we meet to discuss some specialty dishes for the groom's side of the family. We met at a coffee shop, and I liked him immediately. He was down to earth and genuinely enthusiastic about the food. I really appreciate you doing this for us, Lainey. Veronica says you're giving us an amazing deal. I raised an eyebrow. A deal? What exactly did she tell you about our arrangement? Jason looked confused. That you're catering at cost as your gift to us. She said you insisted. I took a deep breath. Jason, Veronica asked me to cater your entire wedding for free. Not at cost. Completely free. She said it would be great exposure for my business. His face fell. What? No, that can't be right. She wouldn't. I pulled out my phone and showed him our text exchanges. His face reddened. I'm so sorry, Lainey. I had no idea. We budgeted for catering. I thought, I don't even know what to say. It's not your fault, but I think you and Veronica need to have a conversation. We absolutely will. This isn't right. When I got home, my phone was blowing up with angry messages from Veronica. How dare you go behind my back? Jason just called me freaking out about catering costs. I called her immediately. Veronica, I simply told Jason the truth. You had no right. Now he's saying we need to pay you. That's generally how businesses work. People pay for goods and services. You promised to cater my wedding? I never promised to do it for free. You assumed that, and when I pushed back, you manipulated me and got your mother involved. This is so typical of you, Lainey. Always the victim. Fine. How much? My regular rate, no family discount. Are you kidding me? After all this? After all what? After you tried to take advantage of me? After you lied to your fiancé? She hung up. 10 minutes later, Aunt Claire called. You've really done it now. Veronica is in tears. Because she got caught lying? Or because she can't exploit me? Watch your tone, young lady. This wedding is important. So is my business. So is honesty. So is respect. I'm very disappointed in you. Frankly, Aunt Claire, I'm disappointed in both of you. The next day, I received a text from Jason asking if we could meet again. This time, he brought his parents. Lainey, these are my parents, David and Elaine. I wanted them to meet you and hear firsthand what happened. David looked deeply embarrassed. We raised our son to be honest and fair. When he told us what Veronica had done, well, we needed to see for ourselves. We talked for an hour. They were kind, reasonable people who were mortified by Veronica's behavior. We'd like to hire you properly, Elaine said. Whatever your normal rate is. That's very kind, but given the circumstances, we insist, David said firmly. This isn't how we do business, and it's not how we treat family. When we parted ways, Jason lingered. There's something else you should know. Veronica's done this before. I just found out she convinced her photographer friend to shoot the wedding for free, too. And the florist is her college roommate who's just starting her business. The day of the wedding arrived. Veronica had barely spoken to me since our confrontation, communicating only through Jason or her bridesmaids. I arrived with my team at Lakeside Manor 5 hours before the ceremony to set up. Everything was going smoothly until Veronica stormed into the kitchen, already in her wedding dress. The appetizers are all wrong. I specifically said no red sauces because of potential stains, and look at this. She gestured wildly at the beautiful arrangement of bruschetta. Veronica, you approved this menu 3 weeks ago. I have the email. Well, I'm unapproving it now. Fix it. There's nothing to fix. This is what you agreed to, and it's what your future in-laws paid for. Her face turned an alarming shade of red. You've been against me from the start. You're just jealous because my wedding is more elegant than yours was. My sous chef Mia stepped between us. Miss Coleman, we need to finish preparing. Perhaps you should return to your bridal suite. Don't tell me what to do in my wedding. Lainey, you need to fix this now, or what? I asked calmly. You'll fire me? Go ahead. But first, you might want to read this. I handed her a folder containing copies of all our communications, a detailed invoice showing exactly what her free catering would have cost, and statements from the other vendors she'd manipulated. What is this? It's called accountability, Veronica. Your in-laws know everything. The photographer and florist you tried to exploit? They're here, properly paid by the Martins. And I took the liberty of sharing these details with Grandma Ruth, who was very interested to hear how you've been treating family. Her face went pale. You wouldn't. I already did. Now I have a wedding to cater. You should probably go finish getting ready. The wedding proceeded, and our food was a hit. Jason's parents made a point of publicly thanking us during their toast, specifically mentioning our professionalism and flexibility. Grandma Ruth, the family matriarch, pulled me aside during the reception. I heard what Veronica tried to do. Your grandfather and I are very proud of how you handled it. Thanks, Grandma. I was worried you'd think I was being difficult. Nonsense. We didn't raise our family to take advantage of each other. Veronica and Claire will be getting a talking to from me after the honeymoon. The real satisfaction came 3 months later. Veronica's wedding photos went viral, but not in the way she'd hoped. Her photographer friend, properly paid thanks to the Martins, had captured a series of unflattering moments showing Veronica berating staff, throwing a tantrum over the cake placement, and making one of her bridesmaids cry. The photographer hadn't posted them maliciously. They were included in the complete wedding album, and Veronica herself had shared them without checking, too eager to get her wedding online. By the time she realized, the damage was done. Her carefully curated influencer image took a major hit. Meanwhile, my business boomed. Jason's parents referred me to their extensive social circle, and I gained several high-profile clients. The exact exposure Veronica had promised, but on my terms, with proper compensation. The final blow to Veronica came when she launched her own event planning business 6 months after the wedding. Her reputation preceded her, and former vendors, including the florist she'd tried to exploit, warned potential clients. Her business struggled from the start. The last time I saw her was at Christmas. She avoided eye contact while I chatted happily with Jason's parents, who had become good friends. Aunt Claire was noticeably cooler toward me, but Grandma Ruth made a point of asking me to help in the kitchen, a position of honor in our family. As I was preparing the gravy, Veronica slipped into the kitchen. I suppose you think you've won, she said quietly. This isn't about winning, Veronica. It's about respect. My business is failing because of you. Your business is failing because you don't value other people's work. The sooner you learn that lesson, the better. She stared at me for a long moment. I'm sorry. About the wedding. I shouldn't have asked you to work for free. I looked at her carefully. Was this genuine remorse or just another manipulation? You know what, Veronica? Keep your apology. Actions speak louder than words, and yours have spoken volumes. I don't need or want your apology. What I want is for you to leave me alone and learn how to treat people with respect. She looked stunned, clearly expecting me to accept her olive branch. That's harsh. No, Expecting family to provide thousands of dollars of professional services for free is harsh. This is just honesty. I turned back to my gravy, effectively dismissing her. She stood there for a moment longer, then left without another word. Today, 3 years later, my catering business has expanded to 3 locations. I'm selective about which events I take on, and I never undersell my worth. Veronica's event planning business closed after 8 months. She and Jason divorced shortly after. Apparently, her true colors weren't limited to how she treated vendors. As for me, I learned a valuable lesson about standing up for myself, even against family. Some people will try to use any connection, blood, friendship, guilt, to get what they want. The true test of character is how they behave when you say no. So tell me, what would you have done in my situation? Would you have stood your ground from the beginning? Or tried a different approach to dealing with Veronica?